Keller here, getting ready to head out on Saturday for something I've been waiting to do a long time. Never really had the gumption to do it, but whatever. The bug bit me this year now that I got this Indian Scout earlier in the year, and gonna do the Iron Butt Challenge. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. We gotta pump the brakes on that. That Iron Butt Challenge is an official sanctioned event, which I didn't know before I did it. I always knew about the 1,000 miles in a day, under 24 hours. I kind of thought Iron Butt was some kind of universal term. It's not. It's some kind of sanctioned event. I don't want to run afoul of the Association of Iron Butt Challenge, whatever it's called. So didn't know that. I do qualify, and I'm going to show you some video that confirms that. Since this was a solo trip, I don't have any witnesses per se, except for ye old video capturing devices. Yeah, so anyway, after the fact, I've decided that instead of the Iron Butt Challenge, this was actually the inaugural, get ready for this, Keystone Iron Keister Challenge. So what makes this new challenge different? Well, 3 separate pieces of criteria. You have to do it under 24 hours, has to be 1,000 miles, and it has to be contained entirely within the state of Pennsylvania. So as you can see, it's a pretty unique event. Just going to recap some of my trip this time. So this was October 9th and 10th. So maybe not the best weather, kind of a dice roll. I was watching the weather before I headed out, and it didn't look good, but it got better and better. So anyway, started out in the Lebanon area about 4:44, I think it was, in the morning on a Saturday morning, and started heading directly west on Route 76. So highway driving is not necessarily pleasant on a motorcycle. And whenever you have a time constraint on it, it's going to be less so. But that was part of the challenge. So I knew I had to make time in the beginning. And I thought the best way to do that, since it was still going to be dark that early in the morning, was to just shoot straight out to the western border of PA and take 76 all the way out. So take 76 all the way out. I jumped on, I think it was 70, went past Washington, and I got off somewhere near a town called Claysville. So it was probably past Somerset that I started to hit rain. Just started getting rained on going down the highway. Not fun. Pretty chilly with the rain. It was just starting to get light out, so that was nice. Not that the sun was out, but I stopped somewhere on my way up right outside of Claysville and grabbed breakfast of a donut and a coffee. I think one of the big things is you get such a morale boost just getting off your bike, stretching your legs. From there, got off at Claysville and basically jumped on Route 18. And the plan was to take that all the way up to Erie and then shoot back across Route 6, which is another more scenic route, kind of like 18, and then head back all the way over to the eastern border of the state, and then kind of take highways back down to make up for time and for distance. So anyway, I'm heading up. I'd been kind of getting rained on a little bit going up 18. Is somewhere between Pittsburgh and Newcastle on 18 that the sun finally came out. So I got to strip down a little bit and just enjoy the sun, take my rain gear off, and headed up towards Erie. So I was enjoying that ride once the sun was out, getting to see some scenic sights out in that neck of the woods. Went right through Newcastle. My brother used to live out there, so some familiar spots. Went through Conneaut Lake. A beautiful area up there. Just really, it's an area of the state that I haven't spent a ton of time in. The northwest quadrant up there, but just gorgeous part of the state. So get up close to Erie. Didn't want to go into Erie. Didn't really think I'd have time to get bogged down up there. So started heading east on 20, and then wanted to jump on 6. Grabbed lunch at some little spot up there. Ate a quick sandwich. The whole time I'm basically not taking meal breaks, but I didn't realize how little amount of time I didn't have to take breaks and see the sights. So anyhow, up in the Erie area. Start heading south. Stopped in, went through Edinburgh, which is a beautiful town, uh, with the lake there and the college. Just a really, really pretty area. And I saw signs for something called the Keystone Armory. So, based solely on the logo, I knew I needed to stop at this place. It had the skull with crossed rifles and then an eye patch on the skull in the shape of a keystone. I mean, it's everything I love. So I'm heading back down. I get somewhere and do a check on mileage and time. Well, I was at 500 miles, so halfway to my goal, but I was also at 12 hours into my trip, which is halfway of my time allotment. My original estimates had me coming in at somewhere around 20 hours. But at this point, I realized that's 20 hours of drive time only. When you add on the brakes, the stopping to get your rain gear squared away, trying to waterproof gear on your bike, you just have no clue how much time that stuff eats up. Plus, you're going to slow your rate of march as you're riding in the rain, which always sucks. You know, I'm sitting there with my bandana to not have to feel the what's tantamount to just needles stabbing you in the lips and the nose. So you put the bandana over, well, then the bandana is like getting waterboarded because it's just sucking into your face. And anyway, not pleasant. I eventually get down onto six, and I'm bopping along six pretty good. You know, I start to really realize, hey, this is just not gonna fly, and I'm still very much up in that Erie area. I knew I was hard on time, and I knew I was gonna have to jump on 80 to make up for lost time. So I wound my way down to 80 somewhere. I got on in a town called Brookville, jumped on to 80, and just started booking it east. Which at this point, I think I only got rained on maybe one or two more times for the rest of the trip, and it was light rain, thank God, because it was getting dark at that point already, and it was just brutal. I'm just cooking down 80. I lost my hat, so if you see a hat somewhere on Route 80, somewhere before Du Bois heading east on 80, you know, it's all yours. I took it all the way to Wilkes-Barre. Actually, before that, I stopped in a little town called Logantown, almost running out of gas. Jumped off at Logantown, saw there was a fuel stop there. It's dark. Thought, not a big deal. I'm sure the pumps are still on. Pumps were not on, even though they let me get, you know, a few cents worth of gas in the first shot. So there I am trying to feed my credit card in there multiple times. It gets declined. Go to fire the bike up, run down to the next exit. It doesn't start because it doesn't have fuel. So text the wife, say, hey, does our insurance company have some kind of roadside assistance? In the meantime, I'm thinking, how long is this going to take? How much of my time left is going to be eaten up in this situation? Is this the thing that's going to break my time hack, my time standard? So I'm looking on Google Maps, just trying to see if there's any gas stations in town, see if I can bum a ride or walk into town, whatever. There was very little in the town of Logantown. The only thing that struck my eye was the volunteer firefighting company. So I called them up. Thank God they were there because the lady said that normally they wouldn't be. But they were having a raffle or some such thing. They were super awesome to run up a can of gas, which was enough to get me down to the next exit to get my tank filled up. But yeah, shout out to the Logantown Volunteer Fire Company. If that's your local fire company, be proud of them and also support them in any which way you can. Now I'm extra motivated to burn down the highway, head out to Wilkes-Barre, get off, and then Wilkes-Barre is basically my turnaround spot. So I get to Wilkes-Barre, fill up again, and then jump on 81 and cook down 81 as fast as I can, within reason, to Carlisle. And basically the plan is get to Carlisle, fuel up, turn and burn, and get back to Lebanon area. So anyhow, I did that. I made it in like 20, I think I was there 21 and a half hours it took me. And I was over 1,000 miles by like 1,006 miles, 1,004 miles. So anyway, just a whirlwind trip. But if you're looking to do this type of thing, I recommend it. I mean, more than anything else, I did this to test my own metal. There's nothing really pleasant about it as far as just doing that much saddle time. I'm doing it by myself. I'm not talking to somebody who's riding along with me or anything like that. So, but it was really about seeing what I was made of at this, older and sloppier version of myself. If you are looking to do it, here's my quick advice. And this is actually just 101 stuff that you already know, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I didn't do it and it cost me and I knew it better, but I just was being lazy or whatever. So the first thing is check your gear. So I had bought for this trip a one of these power packs that you can recharge your batteries with. Well, I'd never used it before. So there I am trying to charge my phone and this thing's having a hard time connecting. Just see how this stuff works before you head out on the road with it. Or this is common knowledge. I thought I had enough gear. So there's a space saving concern, but also you just got to think about it. Staying dry is one thing. What if you can't stay dry? How are you going to stay warm when it gets cool and dark and you're going down the highway at 80 mile an hour? So just basic stuff. The other thing is use your gear. So I had some gear that I didn't put to use and it cost me. So I had a fuel bottle that I've used in the past on long trips and it saved my bacon in the past. And I had it in my bag. I didn't fill it up, partially because I was laying my bag down and I didn't know the integrity of the seal on this bottle. So I thought, well, if I get up to Route 6 and it seems like gas stations are few and far between, then I will probably fill it up then just to be safe. Well, there I was in Logantown, and if I would have had that fuel bottle filled, no problemo. Would have got me to the next fuel stop easy. But there I was with an empty fuel bottle in my bag, which, by the way, I didn't mention to these folks that bailed me out. But just, I mean, it was stupid, right? But again, that goes back to test your gear. So I'm concerned that the seal doesn't work. I don't know. Is there anything I can do before the trip to check if the seal works? Yeah, of course. Fill the thing up and test the seal. If you want to get this thing done in a decent amount of time, it sucks, but you're just going to have to run the highways. And PA's got plenty of highways that you can run and make this thing happen pretty quickly and not necessarily have to double back. So yeah, just count on that. Count on doing a ton of highway time, which not fun, but necessary for a challenge like this. And then you're gonna limit the sightseeing, right? So it's just eating up your time. So this isn't a sightseeing tour. This is really just a grind to get it done. But yeah, don't count on getting to smell the roses because you just don't have time. Yeah, that would be the other thing. Don't expect it to be fun. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to spend that much time on a bike. It's cool to say that you did it. It's cool to see what you're made of. But it's not going to be fun. So next time I do a trip like this, what I definitely want to do is get the proper video gear. Like I don't have a GoPro or anything like that. It'd be good to have a helmet cam. If I wore a helmet, maybe there's another way to rig something like that up. But obviously you could put something on your handlebars. So yeah, this is it. This is the new way, the new standard, the Keystone Iron Keister Challenge. I'd love to hear some other stories and trips and routes that you guys might have taken in the past. And just, yeah, share alike. I mean, this is Pennsvold. It's a beautiful state. I wanted to see the whole state or as much as I could in 24 hours going down the road at 70, 80 miles an hour. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave some comments, like and subscribe. Tell us what you thought. And we'll see you out there on the road. Happy hunting.